Alrighty, welcome in and welcome back, everybody, to Sports Profit TV. And we are, of course, the MLS Live podcast. I'm Cooper, and with me, as always, is my co-host Garrett at JSomeFooty. Ben, welcome in the chat. Good to see somebody already jumping in there. We are officially back on YouTube, and probably to stay. I mean, definitely for this season, we'll continue to do our live streams on YouTube. I love the live chat aspect. Could never quite figure out how to see comments or live chat on X. So we're back. I'm comfortable with YouTube. I like it, and ready for a good week, Garrett.
Yeah, I am very ready for a bounce back. Had my worst week of the season last weekend, so gotta regroup. But I always come in super motivated when that happens. I always cap angry, as I say, and so I usually like where that leads me.
Yeah, dig in a little bit deeper, find a couple more edges. Nothing wrong with that. So, but yeah, good stuff. We can just jump right into it. Of course, we have a 2-unit release today at the end of the show. So
How those two units doing?
2 units are doing okay this year, brother. We are 8-0, a perfect 8-0 on the 2 units. Also smashed our only 3 unit of the season so far. So multi-unit plays, 9-0, not too bad, right? So we'll be looking to keep that going with another 2-unit release this evening. But we will jump right into it, and we're off. FC Dallas hosting the Loons.
Yep. So for the Minnesota, I don't expect the Canadian players to be back. We'll see the striker, St. Clair, the keeper. So I think it's going to be a similar setup from the weekend. But I just love how Minnesota plays on the road. One of the best road teams for the past couple of years now. And that trend continues as they're 7-3 against the spread when traveling this season. And they're actually going to one of the worst home teams in MLS so far in Dallas. Dallas are a measly 1-8 against the spread at home. And it's deserved, man. I mean, they have the second worst expected goals at home in the league. This is one of those cases where you get Minnesota as a better team. And I think we actually get to kind of take advantage of some of that home team pricing, so to speak. I think Minnesota's favored it in this game. Like, it's not like we're getting a steal, but you're not getting Minnesota draw no bet at home, right? Like, so
Right.
here we're going to take advantage of a nice price of Minnesota draw no bet, coming in at like -123, -124, somewhere around there. And because I do think they go in and get something. This is a Friday night game. I think they get something out of this game on Friday.
Yeah. Dallas is not great. They are all Acosta and Musa, and that's pretty much it. I mean, they are below average at basically every other position group on the field, right? Another thing about Dallas, I've been to a lot of Dallas games in my life before Austin, finally got a team. I was an FC Dallas fan, and this game had me thinking because it is a July 4th game. I've been to probably 5 July 4th games in Frisco at FC Dallas. It's always a big deal there. They have a fireworks show. They typically have played well, but there's something very funky about Toyota Stadium right now. If you've watched any of the games on TV, they are having a very difficult time producing any decent atmosphere at all right now because so much of the stadium is under construction. The primary grandstand is like there's no seats. You can't sit there, right? And it just makes for like kind of a dead atmosphere. Like the atmospheres have just not been good. So a little bit of a tangent there, but I felt like mentioning it because of, it is a little bit of an angle to look at, and it could be part of the reason why, other than FC Dallas just having been not great this season. I might have been a little bit worried about a great July 4th atmosphere. Historically, MLS teams do well at home on July 4th, right? But I don't think that situation at Toyota Stadium is helping them at all right now. So, and then on top of that, to speak on Minnesota a little bit, this is a great team. It's a great road team. We love the way that they play on the counter. They've got speed. They are pretty much healthy. Only guy they're missing is the Canadian striker Tanny, right? But other than that, they're good. Yabo is back and healthy, so I like the angle you're taking here. I like that this is playable. It's a draw no bet, and man, we have used these draw no bets over the years, right? I mean, they've definitely used those to our advantage because you find a good spot. Worst case scenario, you push, and then if they get it done all the way, then that's a cash. So, all righty, let's keep it moving. Next game on the docket: LA Galaxy hosting Vancouver, and this is a July 4th MLS After Dark matchup, which should be very fun in my opinion. I am going with goals here. Vancouver a little bit banged up, but I don't think that stops them from finding the back of the net against one of the worst defensive units in Major League Soccer, LA Galaxy, right? And then LA Galaxy, they finally got their first win of the season a couple of weeks ago. Let me pull it up. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 games ago, they got their first win of the season against RSL, 2-0 at home. And that was about the time that they got Paintsill back, right? So since he's been back, since they've had Paintsill and Peck out there, the attack has looked a lot better. The XG numbers have skyrocketed, in fact. And I think we'll continue to see that here. And again, the July 4th vibes at home in Major League Soccer, that's always been kind of an added, just little cherry on top of a great environment. It'll be a sellout. It'll be a big deal. And then yes, Vancouver, like I said, they're dealing with some injuries, but I don't think LA Galaxy can stop Vancouver from finding the back of the net here. And I think we see, 2-1 either way wouldn't shock me. That's why I'm not picking a side here. But I do think both teams score and then we get up and over that 2.5, Garrett.
Part of me wanted really hard to look at Galaxy plus 160 at home. On what's good should be, like I said, a really good atmosphere. These July 4th games are just fun, man. They're fun to go to.
Yeah.
God, dude, it is so hard to try to pull the trigger on what on paper should be a very attractive price, right? Like you talked about, I think Vancouver's missing more people than like you're letting on, right? Like JD Nelson will be back. He didn't play much for Canada in the last week and a half. So he'll be back. I expect him to play. But Brian White's not good there still because USA moved on. Priso suspended. Gald, I mean, that coach keeps hinting that Gald might be out for the season. He just can't get over that knee injury.
Yeah.
Kubas will not play. He's injured. Berhalter moving on with USA. He's not going to play. And even then, like, I don't think they play anyway with it being a Wednesday and that game's a Friday. Like I don't think any of the guys who played tonight, if the USA got knocked out, were going to play regardless. Ali Ahmed, he's injured. He's out. Adekube, he's done for the season. I mean, these are all of those names I listed are important players to this team. And I'm like, I just want to fade Vancouver so hard. But I just can't trust the Galaxy, man. Like I can't. Vancouver lost to Columbus 3 weeks ago. They lose to San Diego 2 weeks ago. Those are teams that I could back, to beat Vancouver. Those are teams that I like. I can't back Galaxy here, but I do think there's goals. It's only because the Galaxy's defense is just so bad that I don't know who's going to contribute for Vancouver, right? They're going to find a way. Jaden Nelson just sticks out to me as a guy who's going to be hungry and fast and can probably burn that defense. So Vancouver will contribute 1. You really, really need Galaxy to put 2 here. Is basically where my head is at when I break this down. And so if that's the case, I think there's a lot of potential value here. I just don't know if I have the guts to pull the triggers on Galaxy money line, Galaxy team total. That's also plus money at home. There's just some crazy good lines here for a team in the Galaxy that on paper should be much better than they actually are, right? So I like where you're going here because you're giving yourself a few more outs and not maybe falling for not bait, but just you know what I mean though, right? Like that money
Yeah.
line's just hanging out there like a juicy carrot. And I'm just like, I can't do it.
Yeah, Vancouver, you're right. I mean, that's a ton of guys that they're missing here, particularly in the midfield, which is that's really tough, right? Um, but they've just been so scrappy. So I think as bad as Galaxy's defense is, they can find a way to contribute. And then I did kind of lean Galaxy here too, especially with it being the holiday and everything. So I think we're seeing this, for the most part through the same glass here, but. I think there's goals. So that's the way I went. All righty. Next game, DC United hosting maybe the
Just talked
biggest.
myself into Jaden Nelson
Yeah.
to score or assist. Just talked
Yeah.
myself into it.
I don't mind it at all. What's the price
All
on
right,
it?
this was I'll look that up in 1 second. This is me though, DC United in Atlanta. We'll keep it moving. So yeah, I'm gonna be on the over 2.5 here. All right. It's a little juiced at -140. But I expect Benteke back for this one. So that's all DC needs to contribute. And DC's attack has been underperforming at home. So you get Benteke back, get a little underperforming attack that should actually have more goals than they have recorded so far. Hosting Atlanta is probably a great way to get back on track if you're trying to find some goals in your attack. Atlanta have absolutely leaked on the road. Atlanta's also missing really who has been arguably their best player of the season so far. They're holding midfielder in Sliz. I think that also helps DC's attack as well, just not having him in the center to solidify that defense a little bit. This Atlanta attack also, like, it just has to, right? It must get going at some point. And I look at this matchup. Atlanta's going to start getting to become desperate for some points, right? I almost wonder if with that holding midfielder missing, like you can only be so conservative, right? I actually wonder if Atlanta tries to make a good defense and actually strong attack, if that makes sense, right? Like your best defense is a good offense.
Yeah.
And see if they don't get a little aggressive with DC here. And that would be heaven on earth if this game got wide open and just went all over the place. So keeping it simple with just over 2.5. I do like both teams to score here. I looked at that as a possible parlay leg for a couple of plays I'm on. But for just a straight play, the over 2.5 is still playable at -140. Yeah, I'm gonna sling on that here with giving who Atlanta is missing and the matchups.
Yeah, I like it. I like just eating the juice here on the 2.5 instead of playing the Asian line at 2.75 or even 3. I do like that. Man, yeah, but Atlanta. I mean, it's been weird, but they did create 1.88 xG last game on the road at Columbus. They have looked. We've seen flashes at times, right, this season. So um, it's not for a lack of talent, but you talked about DC, being a good get right spot for DC. I actually think you could say the same about Atlanta as far as scoring some goals because DC, I mean, I think will be a big, somewhat of an easier opponent than what they've faced the last 2 or 3 weeks, right? They've played Columbus, NYC, FC, Red Bulls, Orlando, Cincinnati, Philly, Austin. All those teams are better defensively than DC. So maybe a little bit of a get right spot for the Atlanta attack as well. So uh, hopefully we'll get some goals here.
Jaden Nelson, by the way, to score or assist. The only line I found so far, not great at +120. I don't love that. I thought it'd be a
Yeah,
little better.
yeah, I did
So
too.
not as big of a fan of that anymore.
I mean, I could see it happening, but that's tough when they're kind of shorthanded. All righty. Here we go. San Jose Quakes hosting the Red Bulls, right? We were on this last week. I'm going straight back to the well. I do not care. I'm playing this if it's playable at home. I don't really care who trots in there. Any MLS team in the league can come to San Jose. If the team total is playable, I'm playing it. So that's what I'm doing here. You could line shop a little bit. I only had time to check one book before I jumped on here at minus 130. So you could find a better price potentially, right? San Jose attack will be healthy. Josef Martinez actually came in at the end of the game. Him and Orango started, right? So they should have their regular attack ready for this one. And we've talked about this New York Red Bull side. They've been so elite defensively, like for the last 2 or 3 seasons. They have not this year. They are like flat out middle of the pack. They're like smack dab middle, like 15th or 16th in XGA allowed, right? So not elite how they have been. And you got the West Coast trip as well. You're going about as far east to west as you possibly can make a trip on. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot more to say about this one, brother. I think this has got to be a play every time for me.
I don't hate it here. If Lewis Morgan did not get injured last game, I can promise you goals here, like just the full game over, or
Yep.
both teams to score over 2.5. Whatever I came up with was probably going to be a 3-unit shot.
Dang.
Like I was going to be on goals heavy here until that happened, and now I just don't like the Red Bulls attack when he's not in it, even though this is San Jose's defense. This is a great spot for San Jose, in my opinion. I think I was going to use double chance because it's like minus 300, minus 320 as a good parlay leg. So that's where I was leaning on this. I did think about their team total, but just after coming off a terrible week last week and this being one of the plays, and then only finding one against the Galaxy, I was just like, I don't have the appetite for it. It is a good play, but I can't fault anybody for going there. But yeah, it is the biggest thing for me is the East Coast to West Coast, the West Coast home field advantage. This is a great quick spot. I wish the money line was a little more value. I'd probably just take that. It's evens right now, so I don't love it, which is why maybe I'm shifting to a double chance at like for a nice parlay leg, maybe to go with DC both teams to score or something like that. We'll see what I cook up later in the thread, but no, this is a San Jose spot for sure.
Yeah. Did you see the Bolero goal from way outside the box by chance?
Yes.
Yeah, that kid was a super draft guy from San Jose State, I think. So hometown kid balling out. That was cool to see. All right, without further ado, folks, the awaited 2-unit release going for a perfect 9-0 record. And here we go.
All right. It's Chicago on the road. So ready, set, go, right? They have the best attack on the road in the league. They play with zero fear. It's why they scored 6 road goals more than any other team in the league. And it's also why they've given up the 4th most road goals. So you just gotta love this team, man, on the road. Like they had the best matches. So yeah, we're gonna take the over 3. We're gonna eat a little juice at minus 133, somewhere around between 133 and 135. And we're just gonna play it for 2 units, man. I don't know what else to say. Like everything lines up here. The over 2.5. So I mean, so Chicago Fire games, road games, have seen 3 or more goals every game this season. They have not seen under 3 so far this season. And then you got FC Cincinnati, who has scored in every home game this season. So I just there's going to be goals here. I expect goals from both sides. Both teams to score here is my favorite parlay leg. If you're wanting to get more action on this game, but it is like minus 200. Like the books know that this is that's a strong play. So you're going to have to like really find another leg to get like some actual value out of it. But yeah, we know FC Cincinnati can score. We know Chicago Fire score on the road. I just don't see where this isn't a push, worst case scenario. And I'm not going to get super cute with it because we have seen that the Chicago Fire can implode and can lose games by 5 goals. We've also seen where they can just turn it up a notch and beat teams by 5 goals. Just a crazy team to ride with. And so we're just taking the full game over. And because it's playable at over 3 and we get a little push protection. I don't want the 3, 2.5. Like I don't want that. I don't want the 3.25 at all. If I'm not getting the 3 here, I'm finding another angle. Like I'm both teams to score and moving on to something else. I do not want to get hooked there on the 3 and lose a half unit. So no, full push here is what I expect at a bare minimum. So multiple units we go.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I also love both teams to score for a parlay piece. The total in this game, I know we mentioned it last week, but Cincinnati defensive mid, who's really the backbone of that midfield, Nwobodo, is still doubtful for this next game. Also, Teenage Hadibi is questionable. As far as I can tell, that's another, one of those 3 center backs back there. He's questionable, so could potentially be missing him, or at least have to, come off the bench or something. So those are 2 pretty clear, pretty important defensive guys there. Could be missing for Cincinnati again. And then, man, yeah, you hit the nail on the head about the Chicago Fire attack on the road. It's been really fun. This has been one of the more fun attacks to back this season. And then, worst comes to worst, you got the Evander Magic there if you need it, right? This guy can just break things wide open from 35 yards out any given day. So, should be a really fun one.
Dude just drips talent, man. It is wild.
Crazy talent, crazy MVP talent absolutely. I mean, he's awesome. But
him and Denke are both on 11 goals this season.
Wow, I didn't realize Denke had gotten that many.
Oh yeah, Denke's got 11. Oh yeah, but who's currently leading the league in goals?
The one that we want to win.
With a 3-goal lead, by the way. Like, my man is pulling away right now. And Sam Surridge. I think we got it at plus 3,300. So fingers crossed as we keep riding the golden boot train.
That's the one we want. We want Sam to stay hot. And I think they will, dude. I think Nashville is the
attack is
of a run they're on right
this
now.
Weekend's game with Philadelphia, I think, is going to be awesome.
That's a big time game.
Like if one of these teams wins the Supporters Shield, that game is going to come back and like help decide it.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, Nashville's on a 13-game unbeaten run right now, so they are playing some really, really good ball. But yeah, there you have it, folks. Another 2-unit release, always free. All we ask is that you just like the video and share it with your friends. Retweet it on X for us. And other than that, I mean, we love doing it. We love doing it for you guys. So hopefully that's another winner for you. And we gave out 5 picks total. What else, Garrett?
Giroud's gone from LAFC. Lots of talk about Suarez and Busquets moving on and at the end of this season. Messi's a question mark. I mean, I think he resigns, but like it's technically not done, so it's a question mark. What was the latest rumor? Son coming to MLS possibly. I think it'd be good for the league. And yeah, there's other moves happening right now, man. I mean, like San Jose sent Hernan Lopez away. Was is that Maradona's grandson or like nephew or I don't know.
I think nephew.
He's in that family tree, right? And so he went to Maradona's team. He's going back to Argentina. So, that's there's just a lot going on, man. Like the next couple of weeks is going to be real busy. So the window for MLS opens up July 24th. And so you'll start seeing guys announced between now and then as they start bringing them in, like Atlanta's bringing in a center back. Nothing groundbreaking, but I mean, like, geez, anything could help that back line. So yeah, we'll be paying attention to that heavily as we start to get to that time where those guys can start debuting toward the end of the month.
Do you think Miami, because like we said, Suarez and Busquets, they're official. They're done in December, right? But do you think in the
Or probably
meantime
retires. Like, I mean, he might be like done.
he needs to be retired? Or both of those guys can retire. Um, but Miami done with Club World Cup. Now it's just the season. We have Leagues Cup, but whatever. We have the season ahead of us now. Any chance they reshuffle Suarez, Busquets contract wise and make immediate changes to try to have a better MLS season? Or do you think it would all happen after their contracts?
If you're Suarez or Busquets, I don't know how they can make it financially beneficial to you to reshuffle your contract and to get out, right? Like, so we saw Toronto waive Insigne and Bernadeschi, right? But those guys are getting their full contracts. Like, that is just a contract termination. Here's all your money. Please leave. Like
Mm,
that was that deal. That's that's I don't think, no, Miami can't waive anybody. They've used it, I believe. And so I don't know. This is the team. This is the team riding out to the end of the year.
so
Yeah, like
frustrating.
I thought about Miami this week, but I was like, there's no way they don't rotate that whole team, man. After
That's
those
my
guys just ran into the ground. And like, but the team isn't super deep. So I don't know who they rotate with, right? Outside of bringing in a bunch of like quote unquote academy dudes. I don't know, but like it it was such a great spot playing Montreal, but in Miami's plus 125, but I can't name you who's going to play. So
yeah,
yeah, I don't know, man. It's that, but I'm pretty sure you're locked in. That's who your roster is for the season.
kind of a frustrating situation, but I get it. Anybody off the top of your head of the teams that can make one or two moves this season and really catapult them to, you know, contender status?
Make a
New
move?
New York Red Bull bringing in Timo. What do you
No,
think of
because
that?
Timo's not. Listen, man. I I loved Timo back when Timo was burning brightly and flying too close to the sun. Love Timo. He was great to watch, super fast. Like that's just the kind of soccer player you want to watch, right? He is not that guy. Timo needs a psychologist and he needs years of therapy. And I don't say that lightly. Like, that dude is just mentally broken, man. Like, that's
Yeah,
just what happened. And I don't think he was prepared for it. That level of success, and he'll never ever be the same. Like, he'll never go back
damn.
to what he was. So Timo coming in to Red Bulls sounds fine. I And the dude might run past everybody in MLS. Like, he might still have the speed,
That's what I
but
think.
he
Yeah,
never hits the target. He'll never get that ball on target.
I
And
I
so
I get what you're saying, and like it's hard to disagree with that because I think he's got the yips, but I do think he would. I think he would eat in MLS. I think he would kick the ball. He would get so many looks. You only need like one out of three of them to go in, and I think
I mm, I mm, nope.
no, you don't think so?
I just like I said, dude, the dude's he's broken. He's a broken individual. And a league swap doesn't fix that, right? Like, when your demons are your own,
Yeah,
it, changing locales doesn't fix that because they go with you. They they're with you all the time. So no, and I feel for him, man. Like, I would love him for him to come and uh, flip MLS upside down. However, also, just to pump the brakes on any summer moves, rarely do you see a summer DP come in and just flip the script for a team and immediately start dominating.
yeah,
Like, Messi did it, but that's Messi, right? Like, there's a couple other names who do it, but these guys, typically, if you're coming in the summer for MLS, you're just now coming off of a long season, right? A long European season. You're tired. You're not really going to get an off season all that much. and you have to go and play till December again. So you're basically playing year round at that point and not having any breaks. And so you just don't see them make the same impact as they would when they get a preseason, when they get some rest and they're able to start the season from week one. So I would pump the brakes on any big moves that come over the summer, as they're probably great moves. You just might not see the immediate impact you're looking for on a level you would expect, because all these guys are playing long seasons. And even now, even longer. Like if you get a guy who was playing in the Club World Cup or anything like that, those legs are shot, man.
Right. One real obvious one, real obvious team that comes to mind is obviously Columbus, right? If they could bring in that missing piece up top, that which they're already kind of, you'd already put them in that contender status, I guess, anyways. But NYC, I could see NYC if they made one or two real solid moves.
For instance, Columbus is bringing in an under 22 kid.
Okay.
Who probably takes off Arfston's spot. And this is a dude who's played okay with the national team during the Gold Cup. So you're either probably moving Arfston, or like there's a good chance he doesn't finish the season as a starter. Like that's just what under 22 kids bring, right? When you get that much potential, you want to see them play.
I must have missed that. Who is it?
Oh, I'll have to look for it.
Yeah, I must have totally missed that.
Give me 2 seconds. I'll find it. And then if you want to think of something else.
Yeah. The other team that kind of comes to mind that's probably a better example of somebody that could be kind of catapulted by a big move is NYC, because I like their roster. I think they're slightly above average MLS team right now, but they've got some good youth. Haynes Wolf and Julian Fernandez, those guys. I think if they made the right moves, could be really good.
Now I will say this. So this is Josh Windus, who has been just rumored with MLS for multiple seasons now. Like he was rumored last summer, didn't come, went to Sheffield, wants out of Sheffield apparently, according to Tom Bogert, and because they're not paying him.
Really?
Yeah, like he's not getting, like they're missing wages. He's 31 now. I would have liked him more at like 28, 29, because this dude's always just kind of circled around. I mean, but dude would come here, probably play the 10, and would be very good and would score goals. He would be more of an attacking 10, not like a creator so much.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. I just read that. Also, I just want to, if you're Charlotte, how do you not sell Ajiman for $8 million to Derby? How do you not do that deal?
You got to. You absolutely have to.
It's just silly, man. That's just silly.
Yeah, Charlotte is a good example of somebody that could move some pieces around and really benefit. If you sell Ajiman, and then you move Pep Beal down into the TAM spot, right? You were saying, and then you'd have like two DPs.
No, yeah, you could. There's a world where, well, this loan extension actually doesn't make him a DP. So Charlotte has an open DP slot as we speak. It's just, I just had it up. Let me go back. It is just Abada and Zaha now are their DPs.
Okay, cool.
All right, so it's Hugo Picard from I think it's League 2 in France.
The Nancy Connect. Hugo Picard. Oh, from
that's
Goondown.
who the 122 kid is. That
oh, I know who this is. I watched him play a lot this year. This kid is 100% a starter for Columbus.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's like, but he plays what's been Arfston's spot, right? And so like you've got to, I mean, like you could sell a move for Arfstein after what he's done in the Gold Cup. Like he's played well enough. But yeah, this is a good signing. Like this is a good signing to bring in. And this is what you want to use the under 22 initiative for, right? You bring in 21, a 20, 21, 22 year old, get him play time. And like this dude transitions probably to a DP spot next season if he performs because he's 22 right now, right? You can only keep him under there for so long. The Fire technically only have two DPs. I'd have to check how many under 22s they have because you got the formula, right? It's 3-3 or 2-4.
Yeah.
For under 22. Dallas technically have two DPs.
How's that?
DC United technically have two DPs. One is not on their team.
Oh my gosh. Wait, how does Dallas only have how do they have two DP spots?
They only have two DPs.
Oh, two DPs.
Costa
Yeah.
and Musa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Montreal have one DP spot, but they don't have one DP spot used right now, but they're not paying anybody, man. Don't worry.
Montreal, ridiculous. Move that team to Vegas.
Chankele just got hurt for New England again. I haven't dove too much into that. But the DPs in New England are just him and Carlos Hill. Carlos Hill is just having another baller season, dude.
Dude, he's so good.
He will go down as one of the best 10s in MLS history, period.
Agreed.
You did talk about NYCFC. They got a spot. They also just loaned out that 18-year-old striker they bought from that Serbian side. Last year. They loaned him out to, I think, the Netherlands.
I was optimistic about him, but that didn't really pan out.
I think, dude, it's a big adjustment, man. 18, that's just a big thing. Real Salt Lake have one DP spot right now, but if they don't sell Luna this summer, I think you got to make Luna a DP soon.
Oh, dude. Luna's an absolute monster.
San Diego still have a DP spot open. So, there are teams that could absolutely make some moves, right? There are teams that could do some. Toronto has 3 DP spots open.
That's one. Okay. So that's a team I am excited about. Maybe not right now, tomorrow, but it's a better league when Toronto is good. That's a team that's supposed to be big market, good. I mean, it was fun. It was a fun league when Toronto was good, and it's been such a mess lately. I
just don't know what Toronto are going to do, though, right? Because when they had Sebastian, he crushed, right? He absolutely crushed it in Toronto. Scored 83 goals in 140 games, right? That's what you want out of a DP striker, and so that signing crushed. I think they've learned a lesson in the way they did the Insigne deal, where it was just obscene money to get him to come over at a non-retirement age and to play. And that just obviously didn't work out. Now, historically, Toronto has spent money, right? And so I guess I still expect that to happen. I just don't want this Insigne and Bernadeschi failure to make them gun shy, right? And shoot lower, so to speak. Maybe not, swing for the fences on their signings, because DPs, you live and die by your DPs in this league. The way the salaries are constructed, that is how you live and die. Toronto does need to be competitive in this league. They've got a good coach in Frazier. Just don't be gun shy here, right? Hit your targets, but aim high like you've been aiming.
I think they will. Toronto's going to spend. I think they're going to, but all righty. Well, folks, we do appreciate you tuning in. Good to be back on YouTube with the live stream. Appreciate everybody that jumped in today and said hello. Again, just one final ask that you like the video and share it if you're on X. And got both of our Twitter handles right here. We will be back next Wednesday, just like always. Garrett, anything?
No, as always, we appreciate the support, guys. This is fun. This is why we do it. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you again, like Cooper said, liking, subscribing, all that jazz. We just greatly appreciate it. So best of luck to whatever you're on this weekend. And let's make this weekend better.
All right, guys, let's crush it. And happy 4th of July in advance, guys.